what are your thoughts on immediate single premium annuities?
All right, so immediate single premium annuity was where you would go to an insurance company, whoever that might be. You would give them a lump sum of money, and they would give you a payment
Mm-hmm.
for that lump sum. And the payment terms are really varied. Actually, you can do just your life, or you and your spouse,
Mm-hmm.
joint life. So it'll keep paying, until the second one of you passes away. You can do what's called a term certain, where it pays for your life if you live, uh, you know, 20 years, but it'll at least pay 10 no matter what. If you die a year after you give them your lump sum, it'll pay out for 10 years. So your
Mm-hmm.
beneficiaries, at least get a nice return from that. And so the whole bunch of options, every one of those pays a different amount. The more certain the term is, the less you're going to get. So life only with kind of no other criteria pays the most, usually. And that can actually pay pretty high yields if you look at it and do the math to figure out what you might get out of that. And the more the interest rates go up, the more you would get. So that's becoming more advantageous. But the nicest thing probably about a single premium annuity is that you're now going to get a guaranteed income source from that insurance company for whatever period you chose, or for
Mm-hmm.
life, or what have you. It's like a pension, and pensions can be really powerful. We got our Social Security coming in now. We don't have many pensions, so maybe you take some of your money and buy a pension. And generally speaking, if you buy stocks and bonds over the long term, you're probably going to beat out that annuity. But you do go through these really nasty periods like we're going through now with the stock and bond
Mm-hmm.
market. And so that's where that annuity would still be paying out and paying out and paying out. I do think if you're going to do this, it should be a smallish percentage of your overall net worth, and it has to be enough money to still make difference, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you have $100,000 net worth, I don't know that you want to do a single premium annuity with $5,000. It's probably too much of a hassle. If you've got a million, 10 million, whatever that is, then maybe you have enough money to make it worthwhile as far as that goes too. But yeah, they can work. Now, the biggest disadvantage, of course, is that whatever money you give to the insurance company is now gone,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that liquidity is gone. So you got to make sure you have other liquidity someplace. You don't want to give them all your liquidity. And so, again, that's why you kind of look at a smaller percentage, because it's gone. You're just going to get that payment for life, joint life, term, whatever it might be that you've chosen as far as that goes. So I think they're interesting. Having said that, I actually haven't seen really, I can't even think of one situation where somebody did it. And I know
Mm-hmm.
they're out there and they do them. But I have no problem with doing them. I think that's an interesting concept. For me personally, I have sat across the table from retirees for the last 36 years, and I will say people that have large pensions have the happy retirement.
Mm-hmm.
They're not having to live off the stock and bond market. And a lot of teachers, for example, and they got a nice pension and what have you, and they're really, maybe even not even touching their assets because they have all these pensions, money, and Social Security possibly coming in. And that has now kind of dissipated down to just certain industries and certain, careers. And so this would be a way to do that. And I would look to do that myself, depending on the structure of what I end up with in my retirement, just because I've seen how happy it makes everybody, and just trying to take a piece of the action off the table from the stock and bond market. Because, I don't know, the next Great Depression, you might be happy to get that cash flow, assuming that insurance company survives, right?
Mm-hmm.
There is that aspect, right? You're at the whims of that company's strength. My understanding is that annuities have done really well. Even if a company fails, oftentimes the industry steps in
Yeah, they'll
and,
bail each other
and
out.
bail each other up, just because it's such a bad marketing aspect to have a failure there. But there are great companies, the New Yorks, the MetLifes, Nationwides of the world, that probably have less chance of going out of business, and so you can look at their ratings and try to buy some of those high ratings. You're going to get less return for that rating, but
Mm-hmm.
probably worth it if you're really looking for the safety aspect. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's great peace of mind. And sometimes, but with a lot of annuities, these payments don't go up, so there's no
Right.
inflation protection. So
Yeah.
This is kind of just saying that base standard of living, every month you gain this X amount of money, and so that's good for the rest of your life, but it's not going to adjust as as things get more expensive. Your buying power is going to go down with it.
Yeah. And that's specific to the single premium, immediate annuity too. There's variable annuities. There's a lot of annuities. There's a whole host, but it's basically a pension if you look at it that way. And because a lot of pensions don't go up much either. Some do, which is kind of nice, but a lot of them are kind of fixed. And so your buying power does erode. But again, if you just have a smallish percentage in that, your other monies could be in that stock and bond market to kind of be able to grow, to offset the erosion of buying power from that pension. And at least you have some, like you say, a base level there, which could really be nice. Yeah.
Yeah, that diversification is powerful.
Yeah. I think it's very interesting to look at it.